Hey, Facebook, we are live here on a Wednesday night. Going to have a nice call-in show here starting in 5 minutes. So jump in for the pre-show. We're talking Marathon Weekend 2019. Any questions you might have, anything you want to brag about, or if you're nervous about it, the Lizards will get here and help you not be nervous. So we're going to have a good time just getting ready. We are 4 weeks out. I cannot wait for Marathon Weekend. We're live right now on Facebook at Be Our Guest Podcast, and we are live on Instagram at the same time. It's kind of weird. No, yeah, NoCo. We got somebody on Instagram Live. Anna is in North County as well. What I say to that is stay safe. I've lived in North County for my whole 45 years. A whole 45 years spent in Florissant. So come on over to Facebook. And once you get in here, I see that we have folks joining us. The numbers are filling up. Give me a shout out where you are in the comments. Tell me where you are tuned in, and we'll get things set up. And we will get going here at 7:15. So in 4 short minutes. Hey, discovering WDW. Hello. Hey, Shelly. How's it going? Guess that's a wave. Where are you tuned in from? We got lots of people in the Facebook broadcast. So come on, let me know where you're watching from. Put it in the comments real quick. Caleb's ready to call. Okay, wait till I do the introduction. The best thing about this when you're calling is somebody wraps up a call. That's the time to call because I'm a one-man show here, so I can't cue things. I wish I had a producer. I need to call my dad. All right, Alan's jumped over from Instagram. He's back in here. Caleb's ready to call. Let's see, we got Dallas, Georgia. Caleb's down there. Paige, of course. Hey, Paige is in Champaign. Fighting a lion eye over there. Chris says M-I-Z. To that, I say Z-O-U, baby. Going to head down to the bowl game in Memphis for New Year's. It's a Memphis New Year's. Hey, Phil, out in Indianapolis. Well, they may be traveling somewhere, but Phil, see you next month at some point, I hope, out in Indianapolis. Jennifer is in Milledgeville, Georgia. Hey, Jennifer. Jonathan, North Carolina. Yes, Jonathan. Marathon Weekend, 4 weeks from tomorrow. Dopey starts. Victoria, Texas. That's where Shelly is. Andrea is in Huntersville, North Carolina. Hey, Andrea. Thanks for joining us. Julie, of course, is in North Liberty, Indiana. I know that one. I've put that into some stuff before. Let's see. Jack is in Merchantville, New Jersey. Thanks, Jack. Natalie is checked in Houston, Texas. You guys have one of my favorite ball players, Aledmus Diaz. He's a young kid, plays shortstop, was with the Cardinals. You got him from the Blue Jays this offseason. You are going to enjoy that kid. He's a good ball player. Chelsea is in Cookeville, Tennessee. Tennessee. Love Tennessee, one of the most beautiful places in the country. Can't like your football team because I'm from Missouri, but, hey, I love Neyland. I went there. That was awesome. See here, we got Marietta, Georgia for Alan. Donna is here in North County, Florissant. That is Ricky's mom. Brian, hey, what's going on? Brian Harrison, New York for Alfred. Terry Scott is in North Florida, the cold part. All I'm hearing about is hypothermia and people in Florida right now. Don't talk to me. It was 17 degrees earlier this week at the end of my run. So I know it stinks. There's a different kind of cold down in Florida. It does stink. Nancy's tuned in. Wait, she's from Kansas City. I thought she says dopey or bust. I thought she's down in Texas, but guess not. See Drexel Hill, Pennsylvania for Katie. Katie, thanks for joining us. South Carolina, but he's not a Gamecock fan. He is a Clemson Tiger. It's Captain Mike in the chat. What's up, Mike? See you in 4 short weeks. In Northern Illinois for Karen. That's where my daughter just won a big competition up at Northern Illinois University up in DeKalb last weekend. I think 2 weekends ago. West Virginia, Chris Walker. My family is from Ashland, Kentucky. My grandparents, which is right at the West Virginia border. So very cool. I've heard great stories about how beautiful it is out there. Hey, Abby. How's it going? Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Looking at you, Abby. Listen to your mom. Connecticut, Corinne's here in Connecticut. Thank you, Corinne Bios. Let's see here. Oh, man. 30 degrees, though. I got it. When it's below freezing, then you get to complain. So there you go. Terry said it was 30 degrees this morning in Florida. Nancy's working out in KC. Maybe she's working for Nate Parrish out with the Webway Radio podcast. Who knows? Check out the Laughgram Studios. But I think it's a dangerous neighborhood, so be careful. All right, let me figure out how I'm going to be able to see all this. Only got like 5 things going. Okay, so I'm going to go off of Instagram. I don't know what you do with that. Share, I guess. All right. Put the phone away so that's not distracting me. Got a lot of folks in here. All right. So again, we're going to try to do this for like an hour. Once I get done with kind of introducing things, please do call in or else it's going to be a really boring show. And this is going to be a podcast for between Christmas and New Year's that Friday. It's going to be episode 1426. Whoa, hang on. All right, we're getting ready to start. Hey, Ray, thanks for tuning in. Hey, Kristen, Omaha, Nebraska. I used to speed skate in Lincoln, Nebraska every summer, the Pershing Auditorium. I got a burn on my leg still from back in college when I bit it really hard in the finals, trying to make it to nationals. All right, let's do this. I hate being tardy. Welcome to a very special episode 1426 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. But more importantly today, one of the over 1,500 Be Our Guest Podcast running lizards. In today's show, we are setting aside for our running squad. We're going to talk all things Run Disney, specifically things for 2019 Marathon Weekend, which, as you're listening to this podcast on the feed, is a mere 2 weeks away. But as we're recording this, Dopey Challenge starts in exactly 4 weeks from tomorrow morning. So what we're going to do over the next hour or so is take your phone calls live, get that here on the air, talk about your successes, maybe your struggles this training season, questions you might have about the expo, when to get your bibs, when's the best time to buy merchandise, getting to the corrals, what time should you catch a bus over at Pop Century, what to expect after the races, touring strategies on a Run Disney weekend, where to eat, things like that. Maybe some unexpected surprises you've had over the years with your Run Disney experiences. So I think it's going to be a helpful one for everybody. If anything, it's going to get us more excited, and this is like the worst time. It's going to get us pumped for Marathon Weekend 2019. So we're going to have a good time. And even if you, like I said, if you're not a runner, hang with us. We're going to still be talking about resort stays, touring strategies. And you know what? By the end of the show, maybe you're talking to Mike Bankhead and signing up and you're a lizard and you're going to walk or run the next race because they're a great way to see Walt Disney World. You know, my story started with Run Disney and the fact that I just wanted to be able to go to Walt Disney World in January, get out of St. Louis and run. That's a loose term. I would kind of run and struggle and walk, but get down there and have an extra vacation in January. And I said, because I want to run. Really, I just wanted to visit Walt Disney World. Now, over the past 4 to 5 years, because of the lizards, I've kind of developed a love of running, but it was first just to get to Walt Disney World. So it'd kind of be fun to hear your story too. So again, the phone number is on the screen there. It's at 407-413-9395. It's 407-413-9395. So give us a call and we'll talk Run Disney. I'm going to get the first call here.
Got the phone ringing.
All right. We have our first call on the line. Hey, who's joining us?
Hi, this is Paige.
Hey, Paige, what's going on?
Things are good. It's my birthday today.
Hey.
So I had a good day so far.
Happy birthday. Question is, did you run on your birthday? Are you, if you did, you're crazy. So did you?
Well, no, I did. And I got my little Nike badge for running on my birthday.
Oh, wow. So do you use that Nike Run Club that comes with all the Apple stuff?
Yes, I do. Yes, I love it.
So tell me about that. I've never used that. I used to use Runkeeper because I try to keep things simple because I tend to screw things up if I make it more complex. And the last thing I want to do is get to the end of a 14-mile run and see that it didn't log. I would I would just literally cry.
Yeah.
But, so what do you think? Like, give us a quick, just like 30-second summary of some of the benefits of using that app.
It's super quick. I plug in my it can be by distance or by duration. So if I'm doing, 45-minute run or if I'm doing a 20-mile run, I just plug that in. And then it you can set it up to give you cues at like you've run a minute or you've run a mile or here's your time, here's your split time. So it's just nice to have those verbal cues along the way. And then it records the run, it records your splits. Elevation, I think, is recorded in it too. your pace, your average pace. It just has all the information you need. So I really like it. It's very easy to use.
That's
I've been using
awesome.
it for several years now.
I joke with my wife that I think I've had as many conversations with Runkeeper Lady as I have with her over the past 4 or 5 years.
Nice.
We argue every morning. I'm like, how I was running really hard. How did my pace get slower that mile?
Exactly. This is so slow.
I'm like, you are wrong, Runkeeper Lady. Come on now. It's like I have a love-hate relationship with that. If I ever met her in real life, it'd be kind of scary. Anyway, so Paige, we're talking Marathon Weekend 2019. You're leading off the show. So what are you participating? What are you running? Let everybody know.
Yeah, I'm doing the Dopey.
There you go.
This is my first time doing the Dopey. I've done the Goofy before, and I've done the Goofy twice. So I kind of have done the challenge thing, but the Dopey, this will be my first time. I understand getting up in the morning early. I'm a little fearful of the 4 days in a row. But in the past, I've been very good about getting back to my room and getting into bed around 8 o'clock.
See, this time I'm going down solo. So I think that's going to help me. Honestly, I mean, I love that my family's always gone with me. We've done the 5Ks together as a family. Paige did the Dopey with me last year, but this year going solo, I don't feel so bad because I'm not trying to worry about, well, we don't have to leave I wanted to stay in the parks until 7 or 8. I didn't want to get back too early because it's their vacation. So it's not too bad. But I mean, what are you looking forward to the most out of, going from Goofy to Dopey? Of course, the 6 medals, but is there anything that's really got you excited? I mean, because it's like the ultimate Disney accomplishment. It's gonna be fun.
It is, yes. So my daughter's actually doing it with me this year, and she's not a runner, although she has she did the 10K Princess Run this year down at Disney, and she's been down there with me during Marathon Weekend. So she thought, heck, I could do Dopey. So we're running it together. So that I'm excited about. I don't know if we'll actually physically be together. We've been training together and, doing the long runs, and we stay together. So it may work out, but it'll be fun just seeing her experience it and getting excited about it.
It is a lot of fun.
I'm looking forward to that part.
Like I did it with not Mallory. She's too young yet. I did the Dopey last year with Paige, and at the end of the marathon, about mile 17, we started fighting because she was really hurting because she did not train because she's 21 and can still get away with that. I can no longer do that. And I'm like, I'm a nervous Nelly, so I saw that it was like mile 17, 18, 19. We're coming back to the studios. Well, we were between ESPN and the studios, so anywhere in there. And I saw the balloon ladies on the other side of the road. And I'm like, intellectually, I know that ESPN's like 4 miles. You know what I'm saying? But seeing them physically 50 feet across the divider from you, I'm like, you better get moving. Yeah. I am going to leave you. I'm going to drop you like a bad habit. No. So, it's so funny how your brain works. But it was a great memory now that we laugh at it because we all made it, thank goodness. So we didn't get swept.
Right. Oh, that's great.
So
that's hilarious.
Give some advice real quick for somebody that's running their first challenge. You've done the Goofy twice. We got a lot of first time runners that are in the audience. Maybe folks that haven't run, they're thinking about it. So what have you learned?
Oh gosh, what have I learned? I have learned that this is such an easy, and I put that in quotes, thing to do, in that any other race, there's a little bit more pressure if you're in a big city and you're doing a marathon, and time could be an issue. But at Disney, this is the perfect place to start out and do these kinds of runs because while time is an issue, you've got that certain pace that you have to keep. It's so laid back and relaxed that I think that takes a little bit of the pressure off of you. And then just the whole, I do marathons at Disney because it's just mentally stimulating, and there's so much going on to keep you preoccupied, and it's a great place to start at, I feel like, for a long run like a marathon.
It is.
Yeah.
And I want to ask everybody this. I'm trying to get a bunch of calls in tonight, but what did you pick for your resort? I'm staying at Riverside just on one because we had the group rates, and that was kind of the middle landing. I couldn't justify that. I wanted the beach club, but I couldn't justify it on a solo. My wife might kill me.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted Pop Century too, but Riverside. So I kind of went right down the middle with Riverside. So what impacted your resort choice for Marathon Weekend?
Well, what impacted it was that we became DVC owners this year.
Oh, wow.
And so we are staying at Copper Creek. our DVC home.
Man, that is so nice.
I
So nice.
know. I wish I could have I tried to get Boardwalk, but by the time we had, signed on and everything, there wasn't any availability. So it's okay. We're at Copper Creek at Wilderness Lodge.
Yeah, I think you're going to be fine. Well, Paige, hey,
I think it'll be great. Yeah,
we'll be down there all together here in just a few short weeks. So happy holidays,
I'm
Merry
excited.
Christmas, and thanks for kicking off the show.
Same to you. Yes, it was good talking to you. Good luck to everybody.
All righty. Talk to you soon. Take care, Paige.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
All right. I believe we have our next caller on the line. I love this. This is kind of like being on the radio. Hey, who's joining us?
Hey, this is Scott from Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Hey, Scott, I can't tell that you're from the Southeast at all with that accent. I love it. No, it's one of the reasons I love going to SEC football games, meeting great friends around the country.
All right, well, go Vols. I'm a volunteer. Hey, quick question.
Yes, sir.
I'm not a runner, but I'm a walker, and I've walked and I've lost 70 pounds this summer listening to your podcast and walking.
Mercy.
So my question is, and I'll listen off air, can you walk these marathons at a good pace and still be able to finish and get the finisher's medal? And I appreciate your show. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for calling in. I sure appreciate it. So let me tell you the easy answer, and it is yes. Yes, you totally can. Disney asks that you maintain a 16-minute mile, which I think most folks can walk now it's a brisk walk, but you can typically walk a 16-minute mile. And the thing is, that's from the last person they start the clock when the last person crosses the start line, which if you can inch your way up a little, sometimes it'll buy you maybe a 17-minute mile, even up to a 17:30 mile, which you got to walk briskly, but you can absolutely walk. Now the marathon, you could totally do 26.2 at walking at 16-minute miles. I'm sure you could, but the longer it gets, it's the more tear on your body because you're out there so long. That's like a 6.5, 7 hour walk. But absolutely, I mean, you've lost 70 pounds. You have gone through the hard work, and congratulations, by the way. That's amazing.
Well, thank you very much. A lot of dieting as well. So, well, I appreciate it, and thanks for the show.
Yes, sir. Go Vols. Talk to you soon. Thank you for calling in.
All right.
Take care.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
All right. So the number is 407-413-9395. Give us some feedback. We have a lot of folks that do the Galloway method. Oops. I apologize for that annoying Skype ring, but hey, we have another caller. Hey, who's joining us? Hello, caller. You are on the air. You made it.
Hey, Mike, good to hear from you, man. This is Caleb calling from Dallas, GA, man.
Hey, Caleb. Good to talk to you. How you doing tonight?
Doing well, man. Listen, I'm going to tell you, I'm a huge fan of the show.
Thank you.
Caught up with you guys, I guess, over the summer. Kind of discovered y'all, and then fell into it. And then became a lizard, and doing the whole thing. I'm this coming January will be number 6 dopey for me and my fiance. So been there since the beginning. It's been a journey, been a struggle. All the training, all the races and stuff. And not by no means are we the fastest runners, but we finished all 5 of them thus far upright, which is awesome.
What do people in your real life say if you tell them, you know what, we're perfectly dopey? They're probably like, yeah, you are, pretty much.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Mike, with us, man, it started out years ago in 2013 or in 2012. We went down to Panama City and watched the Ironman Florida and got the bug from that. And then so in 2013, we entered and we did that, and it was the longest 16 hours and 24 minutes of our life. But we crossed the line, and then the next year we did first or second marathon down at Disney, and then then they created doping. And it was like, well, it's there, so we might as well do it. And then we just keep throwing money at it, and they keep taking it. So, it's always something, man. It's always something with the training because we do the Galloway plan, so we try to stay, do the 2 runs in the week, and then got our 3 or 4 runs, on the weekend, and we try to stick to this time of season, but. But dopey's a trip, man. But my main reason for calling was 3 things, and I'll make it quick because this is not my show. But
no problem. That's why we're
here. Three insider tips on this that I've seen a lot of people over the years ask. One thing, so I believe the expo opens up at 9. Mm-hmm. The expo is real funny because like this past year when we went, we got there like 10:30, and it was almost 3 hours to get into the merchandise line. Other years, it's been, when New Balance was doing the shoes, it was a little bit shorter. So my thing is for the expo, if you can get there right at 9 o'clock, you can usually get in and out, no problem. But if you wait till 10:30,
Yes.
it's going to be a zoo. So if you can't get there in that time frame, no big deal. Don't sweat it. This show is about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I know everybody freaks out about, oh, they're not going to be sold out. Sometimes the jackets are gone in your size, but as a whole, if you want a pen, they restock. If you want a glass, they restock. They've gotten better with that over the years. I still don't know why they don't pre-sell, the glasses and stuff, but whatever, no big deal. So I was just going to say that about the expo. The other thing too is when you're doing doping, don't go too hard on the paint. You're at Disney, so you want to go out and go above and beyond. I love being there. Everybody loves being there. You got to take it easy. Go to the parks, stay for a few hours, and then go back to the pool and chill, or whatever it is that you do, to find your happy place. Just go and sit on your fanny and do nothing, because it's going to help you in the long run, especially on that fourth day of getting up early. You're going to need that rest. The 5K, 10K are fun. The half is fun, but you have got to rest and hold back for the marathon, because none of that matters until you get to mile 24 of the marathon and you're almost done. That's when you want to finish up right. And the last thing that I'll let you go, sorry for talking so long. The biggest thing I've heard a lot of people, especially coming from your neck of the woods and up north, Canada and stuff, sometimes people can't get down there in appropriate time or the proper time to do their packet pickup. This is one thing that I know that Run Disney does not advertise, but they do it for a fact. If you need to do race day packet pickup, you can 100% do it. You just show up. You go like you're going to the race. As soon as you walk into the gate, you'll see over to your left, Run Disney will have a thing. Now, you can't get your T-shirts. You have to go back that afternoon. But as long as you have your ID and all that stuff, you can pick up your bib, you can do your 5K, and everything's fine. So I know a lot of people in the past have freaked out about that. Don't worry about it. It's doable. They don't advertise it. That's a hashtag insider tip right there. But I'm telling you, it will help people, especially if you get stuck in the snow.
You know what?
So,
this is exactly why I want to do the show, because you've been there, done that. And these 3 pieces of advice are just solid gold for anybody that's, still a little bit, nervous about how the mechanics of the weekend are going to work. You're exactly right about the expo. If you're not worried about merchandise per se, and I mean, most of the stuff is always going to be there. It's those few items like pins. Sometimes, like you said, sometimes jackets in various sizes. I wear an extra large. That's pretty popular. But the thing is, like, if you can go like at 2 to maybe, I like to go like an hour or 2 before closing. It's a ghost town. It's a ghost town. It's supper time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's weird. It's weird too. I'm sorry to cut short. It's weird too, because you think, well, going out, oh gosh, it's going to be all picked over. It's awesome. It's like Christmas Day, because they've restocked. You know what I mean? They've restocked. Now, like you say, yes, I'm just like you. I wear an extra large jacket. So once in a blue moon, they might not have it. But, I mean, 98% of the time we've gone, Mike, and we've done stuff, they've always had everything that we've ever wanted. You know what I mean? So it just, like I say, I'm no expert. I'm not the fastest, but I have been in the trenches. So just, I hope maybe these tips will help people. The ones that know about it, lizard up, and we'll see everybody for Dopey number 6 here in 4 short weeks.
Caleb, let me ask you one question, because I love talking to folks that have different levels of experience when it comes to, running and all these races and so forth. And I remember, 10 years ago hearing about the Goofy Challenge, and I mentally, I told myself, I'm like, I don't understand how anybody could run a half marathon and then the next day, within 24 hours, turn around and double that up and run a full marathon to do 39.3 miles. I was like, that is the most ridiculous thing a decade ago that I had ever heard, and now you're perfectly dopey. You've done an Ironman. So if you could put like your hand on something, because I think it's, I still can't believe I've done a full marathon or a dopey, because I hated running and it was such something that was outside my comfort zone, but I got there. So what was it for you that kind of made you say, you know what, I'm going to get out there and try this? It's nuts, but you've done it now so many times. Like, what was that thing that got you going, the instigator for you?
Well, I mean, as far as Ironman's a whole other thing. That's just because I was crazy and I had nothing to do, so I figured I might do it. But as far as Disney runs, we were already going to Disney, 2, 3, 4, sometimes more times a year, because we live here in Georgia. So I'm like, well, we already love being here, and we were kind of getting into running. And I'm like, well, why don't we try this? And we started out, I think like the first year we did like the Everest Challenge when I used to have it and all that stuff, and then it just progressed progress forward, and then we just got the bug, and it's great. The one thing that I can pinpoint for us is that there is nothing like running up Main Street just as the sun is coming up, and
so right.
it's kind of twilight, and you're seeing the castle with the Christmas lights on. I mean, I know it's not like a national monument or anything like that, but I'm telling you, if you're a fan, it'll bring a tear to your eye. It's flipping cool. It's neat, and just the people cheering you on, because, like I say, we're not fast, but the people cheering me on, I think I'm Usain Bolt out there. It's awesome. So,
I'm exactly the same way. I'm like, am I in the Olympics?
Yeah,
crazy.
And then and the thing too is, people need to realize too, when y'all are running, y'all will know when y'all get there. Cone Alley is a real thing. You need to practice patience. If you are a run walker like ourselves, there's etiquette. People. If you have 12 people going, do not walk 12 across run walking. Do not do
Please.
it. It's a safety hazard.
I am
it's
begging
a problem,
you, on behalf of all of us, please single file through Cone Alley at least. Then you can go side by side later.
It's a short distance on marathon day, but it is a stretch that that and ESPN Zone are two areas that you will question your sanity. Just stick with it, and there is more happier places than that on that course. So
yeah, I used to love ESPN before the marathon, and now every time I hit 35 on Charter Cable, it gives me a little twitch. I feel like I got to go run 5 miles, and see every baseball field in Central Florida. I'm like, it's crazy.
Heck yeah. Yeah, it's a trip, and we can get into debate. I wish they have enough space where they could reroute whatever. It's not mine to say. I love it. I'll do it. I hope to be around for Dopey number 20. You know what I mean? At that point, too. I'm sure we'll be several $100,000 bigger, but whatever. I don't care. You can't. There's no trailer hitches on hearses. You can't take it with you when you die. So you got to spend it somehow.
You know what? Here's another great tip. Don't think about all the money, because I remember when I first started running, because I used to play hockey and I used to play baseball. I used to play a lot of team sports, and hockey equipment was expensive. Baseball always had to have the composite bat and all that stuff. The glove that was $200. And I thought, I'm going to run. This is totally cheap. All I need is a pair of tennis shoes. That's all I sneakers. I'm like, this cheapest sport in the world. I don't want to. Do not ever go back and add up your race entries and all the shoes and sunglasses and gels and all that junk. Oh my gosh, don't do it.
No, Lord, no. Now, it turns out it costs a lot of money to stay in somewhat decent shape. So, but that's all right.
It's better than the alternative. Well, Caleb, hey, I'll see you down in Florida here in a few short weeks. Merry Christmas to you. Have a great holiday season.
You as well. Live it up, sir. Have a good one.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for calling. Bye-bye.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
All righty. Great calls tonight, man. I love this. This is awesome. 407-413-9395. You want to hop on the show? I think this is the best kind of advice, because this has been there, done that, talking about Expo Packet Pickup, getting your bibs, shopping, how to survive Cone Alley, which, if you don't know what Cone Alley is, for those folks who haven't experienced a half marathon on this course for Marathon Weekend, which is the same as Princess, Cone Alley is, as you leave the Magic Kingdom and head out towards Animal Kingdom, you're over by the Grand Floridian, the Polynesian, that area. And what they have to do is they have to keep that 2-lane road open for emergency vehicles and folks to get in and out. So everybody, and there's over 20,000 runners, has to run on one side of a 2-lane road, and it's super skinny and super crazy. So you do have to have some patience. All right. So 407-413-9395. You want to give us a call? Please do. The phone line is wide open, and I need to talk to somebody. So give us a call here, and hopefully you're enjoying the show. If you're listening to the podcast on Friday, thank you so much for giving this one a shot. I know it's a little bit different, but hey, the holidays are here, and folks are traveling, and we're making the best. We're never going to miss a podcast for you, I promise. We might have to do things a little bit differently, and we're going to do some of these shows not on Run Disney, but on just general trip planning. Of course, 2 people call at the same time. Go to the first one here, and then I'll get to the second one in just a second. 847, call back after this call. Hey, who's joining us?
Nancy Turner.
Hey, Nancy, how's Missouri treating you?
Good. I'm just visiting for work. I am from Dallas, but this is my first Dopey. I am excited and nervous as I'll get out.
Look at this. Look in the camera. I did a Dopey. Anybody can do a Dopey. Look at this dope right here. Finished 3 times. You got this.
Well, I mean, getting to know all the lizards, I feel like I've got so much support. It's been an amazing journey this last year. I get to stay at Beach Club because you booked me at Beach Club, so I'm going to be very close. I'm very excited can I walk to the start, or do I still have to take buses?
Oh, where's the sad trombones? That is the most horrible thing about staying at an Epcot Air Resort is you still can't walk to the start. You can walk. The good news is you can walk back to your hotel after the races, but you do have to take a bus because the thing is the park's not open at 3:00 in the morning. They don't want to. I don't know. I mean, considering the expense of the race weekend, I guess they could open the International Gateway and just cone off things to get you, from there, just walk past Imagination and under Spaceship Earth. But it's one of things, and the thing is, it's kind of nice just to hop on that bus. And honestly, for Dopey, because you got to do it for 4 mornings in a row, I throw on some throwaway sweats, which I get delivered. Here's a tip for everybody real quick. It's probably going to be chilly at least one of the mornings. I get a set of sweats for all 4 mornings. So I get them on Amazon. Use our affiliate link if you can. Just kidding. But I get the cheapest ones I can find there. Usually I get sweatpants for about $5 or $6. I can get like a cheap sweatshirt for like 6 or 7. I get 4 full sets delivered directly to my hotel. I put the shipping address as my hotel, care of Mike Rallman, guest at, I'm staying at Riverside, so I'll say Riverside. Get it delivered about 2 or 3 days before I arrive, and they hold it for me. And then I just grab the box, tear it open, grab a pair of sweats, throw it over my running stuff every morning. And then when I get on the bus, I go back to sleep for like 20 minutes until because everybody gets off the bus, they wake you up and you get like a little nap going to the race, which, hey, it's 3:00 in the morning, you take a wink when you can get it. So you'll be fine. I mean, the thing is, though, it's really nice after the race to walk back to that hotel.
Okay, great. And I do use your link all the time on Amazon, and I've done a lot of shopping this last year.
And we appreciate that because we put that right into the pool for the hosting and bandwidth, because it's kind of funny with a podcast. And we've done this now it'll be 11 years in March. And it's been such a journey because it's added I can't even tell you how much it's added to my life. I mean, it's changed my life. I've got friends for life. I've changed my career because of the show. And the thing is, the more people we get listening, and we gain listeners every week when you look at the stats, Podbean comes back and asks for more money because we're taking up more and more of their bandwidth. So I'll gladly give it to them, but this is kind of a way to offset that. So I truly appreciate when you do that. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I love the live show. Thanks for having it tonight. All
righty. Well, hey, Dopey up. You'll be a Dopey challenge finisher here in about a month. It's going to be fun.
Can't wait.
Yay! Get that medal rack ready because you're going to have 6.
Yay! All right.
Nancy,
thanks.
Nancy, talk to you soon. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
You too.
Okay,
bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All righty. Great calls here. Nancy from Dallas, but she's in KC. And the phone line is back open. So that person from the 847 area code, if you want to call back in, you can get in right now. Excuse me. Oh, here we go. There they are. Oh, got that ring in there again. That's bugging me. Hey, thanks for your patience. Thanks for calling back. How you doing? Hello, 847 area code.
Hello, this is Jessica Sahuni calling from Chicago, Illinois.
That's where I thought that was. Hey, Jessica, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Hey, can't be better. I love this stuff. And this is, you know what? This is kind of my favorite. I shouldn't say that because Ricky's probably watching. She had to get a massage tonight and she didn't think she could make it in time. And Pam had previous plans. I love talking to the ladies on the shows too. And I love the Monday trip reports. But this is kind of like, you get to pretend like you're like a radio guy. So I love this. It's kind of fun. You get to talk to everybody. I love this stuff. So thanks for making my night.
Absolutely. So I had, I'm not running Marathon Weekend in 2019, but I am planning on doing Dopey in 2020. Mm-hmm. So, I'm already planning and, getting excited. I've done 2 Run Disney races this year, and they've both the training hasn't been too hard because they were both half marathons and challenges. But I know for, the Marathon Weekend, part of that training is kind of through the winter. And I know as a Midwest person, you understand how
it's brutal,
tricky the weather can be. So I was just wondering if you had any tips or advice on how to run through tricky weather and how to stay motivated in the winter.
Well, so hang with me here because I'm gonna get your feedback on this too, because you've been there too. That is kind of a challenge for folks that come from the northern half of the United States. When it comes to marathon weekend, say you're doing Star Wars, you could probably get most, like you said, it's only not only a half marathon, but it's not, you don't have any 20 to 22 mile training runs in the cycle, that are popping up in, mid to late December. You might have a 13-mile run, but it'll be in March. The thing I think is the most challenging for folks from the northern tier states is going to be when you get precipitation on the ground. I can run outside. This is just me, and everybody's got different tolerances, but I'll run outside down to about 10 degrees because I hate the treadmill that much. And of course, I bought a treadmill last year. I wore out our original treadmill, which lasted 10 years. But I bought a decent one on Amazon, and it wasn't real expensive. I mean, it's like a $700 one. It's nothing flashy, but it's got a belt and it keeps track of how far you're going. It's about all it does. It doesn't do a whole lot. It's got a little fan, but it gets the job done. So I do go to the treadmill when it gets a little dicey outside because I run early in the morning, usually about 5 a.m. It's dark, and you got black ice and stuff like that for cars. We have it for runners too. And here's the thing, for everybody that's watching like this running marathon weekend here in a few weeks, this is like the paranoia stage of everything. Like, you don't want to get a cold. You don't want to get the flu. You don't want to twist an ankle. You don't want to, there's just like, you need to put yourself in bubble wrap at this point. And so I'm scared to death if there's any kind of, freezing fog the other morning we had here in St. Louis. I'm like, what's freezing fog? But I mean, if I fall because of that, I am going to be fired up. So I think, like you said, with marathon weekend training for marathon weekend, if you're in the Midwest or, any cold climate, the thing is, like, I just layer up. Like the other day I had 6 shirts on. I use those hand warmers. They're called hot hands, those like chemically activated little pouches. Ricky told me about the hot feet. They're little stickers that go on the bottom of your foot, and they're real thin, and they keep your feet warm because they heat up your little shoe. They're maybe the same people. So I think, in the running tights, and I wear 2 pair of gloves, and I got that, I don't even know what it's called. It's like a ski mask kind of thing made by Nike. The football players wear under the football helmets. But if you have layers and you have all your skin covered, you could run outside even during marathon weekend training in the coldest of weather, but you just got to be careful with the precipitation. So now you're in Chicago, so you guys tend to get more snow, more ice. Have you ever tried to do you train over the winter time, and what are your tips?
Yeah, so I do train over the winter. I've never trained for a marathon over the winter. So, the most I do in the winter is like 10 to 12 miles. And I totally am with you with the precipitation. I have wiped out
yes.
on ice I didn't see, and it's super rattling. So yeah, I layer upon layer, and I really kind of invest in some better like base layers and some warm tights. But with you, I haven't bought a treadmill yet, but I'm thinking of going on Craigslist and trying to find something just for those really snowy or icy days, because I guess training for something like Dopey, it's you gotta get those longer runs, and the weather can be kind of unpredictable this time of year.
Well, too, the one thing I learned about Dopey, when I did my first one a few years back, and now I continue to do this. And for one thing, if you follow my training, it's just stupid. I have to run every morning. That's just kind of I'm a very much a routine type person. I like to get my miles in and then get going with my day. But the thing about Dopey, I think that makes you successful, or makes it an easier and more fun experience once you get down there. Say you put the work in beforehand, but B, your body is used to running on tired legs. So as I get closer to December for marathon weekend and I'm running a challenge race, what I want to do a lot of times is, I'm on the phone with Disney all day. And sometimes you'll have a, 15-minute hold. Sometimes you'll have a 32-minute hold, or sometimes you're just, waiting for this. What I'll do, since I do have the treadmill in the basement, which is kind of nice. And again, you can get inexpensive ones that do the job. Doesn't have to be fancy, but that gives you the opportunity, in the evenings, if you're watching a TV show, just walk, you don't have to run, just walk 30 minutes just to keep your legs, just to get used to being able to run the next morning on legs that aren't fresh. Because I think that's a big eye opener too. When you can run on tired legs, then when you have fresh legs down at Walt Disney World, if you cut back and kind of taper a week before, it's like you're like a sports car. Like, what's going on, man? I'm souped up, and it's all mental. But when you feel better than you're expecting, it's just a little lift.
Yeah, that's really, really great advice. Thank you so much.
Oh, no problem, Jessica. Hey, it's going to be fun running with you in 2020. What races did you run this past year? Princess?
I ran Princess and Wine and Dine.
Nice. So you know what? I got Princess surprise gift from my daughters and my wife. I get to run the 10K and the half. Never run Princess weekend before, so tell me what to expect. That's the only one I haven't done at World.
Oh my gosh, it is. That was. I love it. I cannot wait to go back and run Princess again. Oh man, I'm so jealous.
I'm just excited I get to get out of St. Louis in February and, have 4 days at Walt Disney World and get to run 2 races. I love that because I think it works great for folks running marathon weekend because, it's 6 weeks later, you're already going to be trained up, so just maintain and you're there. So yeah, I'm excited for this one.
Oh, that'll be so great.
All right. Well, Jessica, hey, happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you. And thanks for calling in tonight. I sure appreciate it.
Thank you too. Have a nice night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. So we're at 407-413-9395. Still have some more time to talk around Disney. It doesn't have to be a marathon weekend, but I love this stuff. And if you have tips, tried and true tips from what you've experienced, I'm trying to sprinkle mine in here as I can. I do like the idea of, making your legs tired, force your legs to be tired on a training run, many times before you get down to Walt Disney World. Then when it's time for Dopey, and you get up on Sunday and your legs are tired from Saturday, it's not a new experience. You felt that. And I've seen a lot of our lizards over the past couple of weeks doing their simulations where, so a lot of folks doing the 5, the 10, the half, and the almost a full distance or even a full distance on Sunday. That's exactly what you need to do. Get comfortable. I found, and I use a lot of quotes that I find online, not really memes, but just inspirational kind of things. And one of the things I found that really is true of the challenge races down at Walt Disney World is get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because sometimes, the weather can be sketch over marathon weekend. It's been in the 20s and 30s. It's sleeted and snowed. One year when I did the half marathon back in 2008 or 9, I think. So if you're comfortable with being uncomfortable, you're set. Also, another thing, pack gloves and hats and all that stuff. You may not need to pull them out, but chances are you will. Bring them from home. You don't have to buy them. All right. Natalie is in the live chat. We need calls, 407-413. Let me pop this back up on the screen. 407-413-9395. We have our caller. Let me grab this here and hit this.
I'm trying to sprinkle mine in here.
All righty. Hey, who's joining us? Somebody sprinkling something. Oh, that was me talking in the background. That's so weird here. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Mike.
Hey, who's this?
This is Chris Walker here in Williamstown, West Virginia.
Hey, Chris. Thanks for calling tonight from West Virginia. I appreciate it.
Hey, question for you. My son and I are going down as a buddy trip, and he has asked me about meeting me there at the Split at Everest and doing the ride.
Yes.
Will they let us ride together if we run through single? Do you know?
Officially, probably I should say it's only a singles line. However, I will tell you from the past 2 years of riding Everest during the marathon, it's like a free for all when you go in there. If you have a bib on, it is a nut. And the thing is like what I've noticed about this is a great call. I love this. Riding Everest during marathon. Yes. If the problem is if you're a fast runner, my first year I was a nervous wreck and I was in better shape than I am now. I went through there way too early and it wasn't open yet. So you got to be careful that if you're running fast, you're going to get through Animal Kingdom before park opening. But the thing is, like the last couple times we've kind of slowed down and enjoyed it. And if you have a bib on, they kind of feed you through the single rider line and get you on a train. But what I've noticed is that the day, because you're mixed in with obviously the day guests who are like rope dropping Animal Kingdom and like, what in the world is going on? You see some of these people like, where are these people coming from? Why does everybody have numbers? Why do they stink? It's like, I feel bad for them because like I sat next to a stranger that wasn't a runner last year and I know I smelled bad, but I was like, I apologize. I know I stink. I was like, we're running a marathon. He's like, what, you're running one right now? I'm like, yeah, I'm halfway. I got 13 more miles. So my back was kind of hurting. I was like, this could be the end of me. I was like, I'll be honest, I might not be able to get out of this car at the end of the ride because I'm locking up as we speak. But the thing is, I think you could probably ride together. Just it's kind of like mass chaos because what I've noticed is the guests at Animal Kingdom that have nothing to do with marathon weekend, they kind of just get in on the excitement. They want to see you have that moment. And if you say, oh man, I'm running, you got your bib on, my son's here, they're going to let you. I mean, I would say in practicality, 95% of the chance you're going to be riding together. I would say totally.
That would be awesome. See, just like you were saying, I'm not sure about getting up afterwards. And
it's a risk. It's a
deal
risk
about timing, not a worry.
Well, the thing is, it's really fun if you're running something like Runkeeper, some kind of GPS tracker, because you gain like another mile and you're going at like 30 miles an hour for like 1 minute. I mean, it totally screws with your with your stats, but then you go and look at your path I always like going back and looking, oh, we ran through the Magic Kingdom. It's just fun to look at the little map, but then you see Everest, you're like, and you see your pace, you're like, whoa, I ran a 4-minute mile. That was pretty sweet.
Great. Okay. Well, I appreciate that. That's what I'm looking into, and he'd like to do it. He wanted Rock and Roller Coaster, but I said, no way am I even thinking about sitting down at that point.
You could probably do Tower. I mean, that'd be a kind of a compromise. That's not too rough on the body. I would do
I'll
Everest.
think about that one. It'll depend on what time his butt gets up too, because he gets to sleep in. He's just coming along for the adventure.
No, you got to wake him up. When you get up, you got to at least like drip some water on him or something, just so he can feel some misery too.
I'll think about that one. He's the same size as me, so he could probably take me in a fight nowadays.
Okay. Don't tell him what I look like. Good deal.
Will do.
All right. Well, hey, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and see you down there in January.
Same to you. See you
Take
soon.
care. Okay,
Bye.
bye-bye. All right. Love that one. So, hey, if you have advice, drop it in the Facebook comments there. If you've ridden Everest, that's my experience. It's kind of a free for all. They kind of feed you in, and the day guests have no idea what's going on. All these stinky runners invading their theme park attraction, but it is so much fun. So, yeah, Ryan in the chat saying it's a must do, and I agree. All right, let's get to the next call. I love this, guys. Thank you for calling in, everybody that's called so far. And we have our next caller on the line. Who's joining us?
Hey, Mike, it's Bobby Dell. B-Dell, how are you?
Hey, Bobby, good to talk to you tonight. I'm doing wonderful. How are you doing?
Man, we're doing good. We're excited.
Good stuff. What's going on tonight?
Yeah, we're just listening to this marathon talk. Can't wait to get down there.
Is this good or bad? Like, I think like I was excited for marathon weekend before I fired up the show tonight. And now I think it's 10 times worse. I'm about ready to get on a plane right now.
That's true. It's good and bad. But, yeah, we're just, we're doing our first dopey. So we're taking in all the information we can.
Good deal. So what have you run before?
So we've done a natural progression. We started off with a half at Disney, and then we worked our way into the full. And then last year we did the Goofy Challenge, and now we've stepped up to do the dopey.
You know what? I think that is how it's supposed to be done. I know a lot of folks have, made dopey their first marathon, which kudos to you if you've done that. That's pretty amazing. I skipped the Goofy step, but I wanted to back in 2015 because running a half marathon is a really big deal. Okay. That's like step one. That's 13 miles is a long way to go. There's very few people that ever run a half. But then when you get to the full marathon, even fewer people have made that. And that's kind of like a really landmark thing, I think, in people's lives when you run your first full marathon. And I wanted to have, just a marathon for a year and to say, I'm a marathoner. But then after that, I wanted to jump up to the challenges. But how you're doing it is just spot on because you get to have that extra carrot every down on what you're going to do next year. But, it's like you're increasing every year and you're making it more rewarding and more of a challenge. And I applaud you for that. That's really cool.
Yeah. Our discussion's been now since we're stepping up to the dopey challenge. What is next year going to be?
Yeah. You know what? If Disney can charge another couple $100, they might find something.
Yeah, that's true. We'd probably do it.
So now I've been asking a few folks, where are you staying? Like, what's your strategy for getting around? Because with dopey, you got, 4 early mornings. It's kind of important where you're staying. How are your logistics looking right now?
Yeah, we're with you. We would have loved to been in the boardwalk area. It didn't work out for us, but we're going to be Wilderness Lodge, which I'm excited about. We've stayed there once before, and I just wanted to stay there.
That's a great place. Oh, man. So
yeah, just to kind of get away a little bit and feel like you're kind of out.
You know what,
feeling?
Because you're going to want to go back and have some, early evenings, and you got things. When you're at a deluxe resort, it's really nice because you could go out and because the temptation is to go in the parks a lot, but really you need to be off your feet. You could go back to Geyser Point and relax there. They got a great pool. You're just a boat ride from the Magic Kingdom. So easy transportation. If you wanted to, spend the afternoon, early evening over there, boat ride and you're back home. I mean, you really got to kind of think about all those things. Like, what does your resort have that's going to entice you to stay out of that theme park, because walking around your resort puts a lot less steps on your body than walking around a theme park.
Yeah, we always our strategy always is to have our ADRs around 3 in the afternoon to have like an early dinner to make our way back, but you always get hungry again when you do that.
Yeah, I'm always hungry.
So yeah, same here. And I know that they have the chicken and waffles over there.
Whew, yes. Oh man, I can't
It's
wait.
a quick service.
You know what? I'm excited because the Lizards are having a big meal over at Ohana at some point. Since I'm going solo, I got added on to an ADR. So I haven't been there in years. And Lord help me at Ohana over Marathon weekend. That could get really ugly really fast.
Which night are you going there?
I don't know. I got to look. I don't know. Joe Fickus just sent me a message earlier this week. Like, you want to join us at Ohana? I was like, yes. And then I sent the rest of the message after that. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, Bobby, thanks for calling in. We're going to have a good time at Dopey. We'll have 4 mornings together, not really knowing why we're standing out in the cold and the dark and what we're doing, but we're going to have 6 medals in the end. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, sounds good. We'll see you in a few weeks.
All right. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you, buddy. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks. You too. All right. Bye.
All right. 407-413-9395. We're talking Marathon Weekend 2019 and Run Disney in general. This is so much fun. Joe Laszlo actually speaking of the ATL, and I really wasn't speaking of the ATL, but hey, you guys have a championship soccer team apparently. Cheer spots for the half. We usually cheer under the monorail tracks right before the TTC is kind of a known spot for the Lizards, right on the rail there. Before we get to the TTC, under the monorail tracks, that's a good spot to cheer. We always have Lizards there. All right, next call is joining us right now. Hey, who's on the line?
This is Kristen.
Hey, Kristen, how's it going tonight? Thanks for calling in.
Good. How are you?
Great. I want to go run a marathon right now. I'm pumped. I'm ready.
Yeah, us too. Just about. I have my husband Adam here as well.
All right. So, hey, Adam, how's it going? Where are you guys from? Hello.
Sorry, what was that?
Oh, so where are you guys from?
Oh, we're from Omaha, Nebraska.
Nice. Up in Nebraska. I used to drive to Lincoln every summer to speed skate. It was a long drive.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was fun. Pershing Auditorium, downtown Lincoln, right next to the Cornhusker. Good
Oh,
stuff.
cool.
Yeah, it's fun. So what are you guys running at Marathon Weekend? What are you looking forward to?
This is our first marathon ever, so we'll be staying at the Riverside. We just changed it. No, Coronado Springs. Sorry.
Oh, I love Coronado. If we'd had a group
We
rate,
were going to be at All Star.
Oh, big plus.
And then we just saw like a new opening for Coronado, so we jumped on it.
Have you ever stayed at Coronado before? No.
No, this is actually our first time to Disney World as adults. So.
Whoa! Wait a second. No, you're doing So you're running the full marathon?
Full marathon, first time to Disney.
Oh man, you're like checking off 17 things off the bucket list. Exactly. You're not kidding. Wow. I mean, because the thing is, well, let me just tell you. Do you guys have Memory Maker? You need Memory Maker on this trip. If you have an annual pass, you need it. You need it.
I was thinking of getting an annual pass because I have a feeling we'll be wanting to go back for Wine and Dine too.
Yes. You know what? Because if you're going to get the Memory Maker and you think you might be going back, do get an annual pass. Because the thing is, since Memory Maker has all your race photos, I honestly, my first marathon, I bought, this was before they had the Memory Maker as part of the Run Disney experience. I paid, I want to say right at $200 for my race photos because I bought like the CD of all the pictures because it was my first marathon. You know, I was excited.
Right.
I was like, I can't believe I did that. I'm probably never going to do it again. So I bought all the pictures, like $200. So if you think about that, these are memories you're going to want to have forever. And I mean, especially with this being a first, this is just, yeah, definitely have the Memory Maker some way to keep all these amazing images for you.
Glad you said that because we've kind of been going back and forth on it, but
well, because you can't go back. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to get home and be like, oh man, because you're going to come home with like 200 or 300 great shots. And I mean, these are action shots out on the course, like in front of Cinderella, like the picture of you running through Cinderella Castle, you guys running together, and you know, Main Street US. You need those professional pictures. I know we all have iPhones, but I mean, it's cool when somebody else captures the moment of you. You know, and of course you'll get your bad pictures too, like oh man, I was wiping my nose because I'm in mile 18. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I mean, it's a great thing. And it's a no-brainer in a situation like this.
Yeah, sometimes those candid ones are the best.
Yes.
Anyway.
So what do you now? I love it's your first, time going down. You're going to love Coronado. Best thing about Coronado is you got great places to eat. You got a nice hot tub to sit in. If you get back in the evenings, I've sat in that hot tub so many times. Over by and you got the Siesta pool bar, great margaritas, frozen margaritas. I'm just saying, I love those, and they have Mexican food too. So you also have Maya Grill. You have, I can't remember what they renamed. I think it's El Mercado, the old pepper market. Just great food options right there at your hotel. And the best part about Coronado, you are literally right across the street from the studios and Epcot, where all the action is going to be happening. So good transportation.
Perfect.
So what are you guys looking
wait.
forward to? We're about a month out from marathon. Do you have any questions? What are you excited for? Tell me what it's about.
Yeah, so actually one of our biggest questions was about nutrition, because it's hard to research Disney and plan for it and not want to eat at all the different restaurants we hear about. And we only have 3 days in the parks there. So, do you have a favorite restaurant you go to beforehand, or what's kind of your nutrition strategy for the day before the marathon? How do we not go overboard, but also we want to try all the things?
I'm going to defer on this one to the chat room over at the Facebook page in the comments. So guys, if you have this on nutrition, put those nutrition tips in there. My biggest thing is I eat terrible. You guys know, I joke about it, but I have Taco Bell a couple times a week. And, the thing is, I can run, my 14-mile training runs and have Taco Bell the night before. My body is built for that. So when I go to Walt Disney World, I eat all the junk. I don't care because my body's used to it. I've always said, I think the biggest tip is, don't try something new over a race weekend, and maybe go light on the salads, stuff probably don't want a lot of that stuff. But the thing is, I think just don't try anything new. I did the 1 year, I didn't do this intentionally, but I know that we were there with all the groups. We were staying with the Gardeners and the Foresters. We're all staying at the hotel. So every night we'd have a dinner together. And every night we'd kind of cheered on that day's race with one cocktail, a Mai Tai one night over at Olivia's, or a margarita at a Mexican restaurant or something. It was one drink the night, but I was I had a drink every night before each race. I'm what was that? That was the stupidest thing ever. But I made it through that too. I didn't realize it until the races were over. I'm we had a drink every single night. It was dumb. But, I think the thing is just stick to what you're used to. But of course, if you want a carb load, you got places like Via Napoli that folks are saying in the chat, Jonathan's saying Mama Melrose. You can find pastas. And the thing is too, all the restaurants will have runners specials, all the food courts. And of course they're going to be high pasta, high carbs. So yeah, they'll have in the mornings, they'll have little grab and go sacks too, that you can take and eat on the bus, with a bagel and stuff and a banana and stuff like that. Oh, cool. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Perfect.
Yep. But yeah, you called the wrong show if you're asking about nutrition.
I liked what you were saying about eating a Taco Bell, because that's me too.
That's Adam.
Well, you know what? I run to eat and I eat to run. So that's, and I know that stuff is it's crap, but it tastes so good, and I just get a craving for it. We will not be sponsored by Taco Bell.
I'm a carpenter too, so
yeah,
I work a fairly active job. So I'm if I'm not loading up on the calories, I'm feeling sluggish. All day.
That's me too. I'm getting ready to, as we wrap this show, we're doing it here on a Wednesday night. Of course, Survivor's on, Live PD's on. I think I'm going to have to run up to Dairy Queen and get me a peanut butter parfait to top off the day. It's so terrible. I know. It's perfect. So yeah, because I see all these people that have the discipline, and here's the thing too. About 3 years ago, I dropped a ton of weight. I dropped 70 pounds, 65 pounds. But what I learned in that journey in just 30 seconds is that I lost too much weight. I got anemic. I had to get iron transfusions, and I was miserable all the time. Now I just I've kind of bounced back the opposite way, because the doctor said you need to add 30 pounds. I was okay, I can do that. Eat a lot of red meat. I can do that. I can eat. But I think the thing is just to stay active, and when you're down there, just don't try anything too. And that's hard, because Walt Disney World has lots of fun, crazy foods that you probably don't have at home. But I would say this isn't the time to try something too crazy.
Sounds good. So everything in moderation, kind of.
Well, it's Walt Disney World. Who's going to be too moderate? You know what I'm saying? Let's be real.
That's the best news I've gotten.
Eat it all. You'll be
fine. Gave me an excuse to eat what I want at Disney. So thank you.
You know what, Adam? I'll meet you at the cantina at San Angel. We'll have some Mexican and some margaritas, and we'll just take our chances.
That's my favorite thing. Sounds good.
There we go. I'll see you there. Hey, guys, thanks for calling in. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. I'll see you down in January.
Merry Christmas.
You too. Thanks.
Take care. Bye-bye. All right. We have our next caller on the line. Thanks for calling in. Hey, who's on the line right now? Hello, caller. You're on
Hey,
the
Mike,
line.
how are you?
Hey, doing great.
Mike, how are you?
Good.
Good. This is Wade from Lincoln, Nebraska. Once you said you used to drive to Lincoln, I figured might as well call in.
There you go, man. Trust me, that was a long 9 hours in a Ford Ranger pickup truck. All broken
It is
down.
a long drive from St. Louis.
It is.
That's true. It is kind of a trek.
Once you hit St.
hey,
Joe,
Don,
you're in the country. Yeah, there's not much to see.
Yeah, exactly. You just keep driving up to 29.
Yep.
Anyway, no, I'm excited to come down. It's actually, I just ran Wine and Dine, did the challenge last month, which was great. And so the funny thing is trying to incorporate training for that. And then I'm running the full in January, and it's my first full marathon. Awesome. So I got a 25-mile run on Christmas Eve, which will be a lot of fun.
Here's the thing with that, though. You know what? Okay, because I'm a person who I want to always be prepared. Like if it says to run 25, I ran 25 my first time around because I didn't want to leave anything to chance. You know, if this was the plan and this is what they say works, I'm trusting the plan. And I did that. But I found, if I can run 22 or so, and it doesn't have to be on Christmas Eve, you could do it on the 22nd or 23rd if you can work your schedule because I mean, come on now. It's Christmas Eve. Santa's not even working that hard on Christmas Eve. Santa's not running 25. Come on now. So but I get where you're coming from. And it's going to be, first marathons are so amazing. I love this.
Well, I've done, it's funny. I have to travel. I'm in Los Angeles for work a couple of days before, and I actually talked to Jeff Galloway about it down at the expo last month. And he's like, he wrote out actually on a little piece of paper exactly what I should run, which was very cool. I mean, how often do you get Jeff Galloway to actually write you a training plan, Yeah,
let me pull this out. This is what Jeff told me to do here. It's in his handwriting. That is pretty. I'd hang that next to my medal.
Oh, exactly, man. It's sitting on my desk. I'm like, I got to save this piece of paper. It's from Jeff Galloway.
Totally.
But I've run I've run probably 12 or 13 halves. So I've done a 22 already. So I feel like I'm pretty ready. I just, mentally want to do that 25 or whatever. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But my question was this. I've done Race Retreat one time, and that was like 4 or 5 years ago when I did the half in January. And it was nice, but I don't know if it's worth it, and the price seems to have gone way up. I don't know what you think or if you ever do it. I haven't added it on. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I don't do it just because I'm a tightwad, and it's like I've already spent enough money between my hotel. Now I got flights. I used to drive down, but I had gas, and I got all the entries and I've got all the food that I'm going to be eating over the weekend. I'm spending a lot of money to run these races. And that's one of the things that, I think, again, comfort is worth something. This is why. So I do spend my money in comfort in a way that I buy those sweats on Amazon and have those on hand because it could be 60 degrees the morning of the 5K and I've bought 4 sets of sweats and I don't need those. What I do is I just give them away or chuck them somewhere. I just look at them as they're an insurance policy against my comfort if it's cold. So that's where I do spend money to stay comfortable over marathon weekend. But like you said, Race Retreat, it's a great perk. Now, if I could do it and it was half the cost, I might. But the thing is too, with the running squad is that, all of our friends are going to be out there waiting. Most people outside of the Race Retreat, I would feel personally guilty, like sitting up in a recliner and watching TV and, eating good food while everybody else is freezing their, what's off out there waiting to go to the corral. So I just want to be out there with everybody. We have a good time. We stay warm, we're nuts, but it's a splurge. I think it's a great gift though, for somebody, if like, a significant other wants to gift a really neat experience for you over marathon weekend. I think that's a really thoughtful idea.
Yeah, well, maybe I should talk to my wife then about that one.
Hey, I got Princess Race weekend. I mean, I'm all about experiences. I don't need stuff other than like I get, because the thing is, once you get to our age, a lot of folks like technology. I buy what I want. If I want a new phone, I buy the phone. I get the laptop that I need for work. I don't leave a lot of that stuff to chance. So other than that, I would love to have experiences. Things I can do and have a good time.
Right. I hear you. Okay. Well, that's good advice. Well, hey, I'm Husker Wadrow, by the way, when I sign in, and always say go Huskers and go Cubs. And I know that kind of gets
man,
you.
That's a tough combo from a kid from Missouri and St. Louis. But you know what? We're friends. We're still friends, buddy. I appreciate it.
Exactly. Hey, MIZ. I'll give you one of those. So,
All righty. All right. Well, hey, I'll see you down there in January. You're going to have a great time running that first full, and I'll see you on Sunday out, well, maybe in race retreat, but out in the crowds for sure.
Sounds good. Thanks, Mike.
All right. Merry Christmas. Have a good holiday season. Thank you.
You too.
All righty. Whew, getting calls from the Husker fans. Got to love that. All right, let's take one more call here as we wrap up the show. 407-413-9395. One more call. It's been a great hour. I love this. Hope you're enjoying the show. It's been just great going back and forth, hearing about a lot of first-time runners. I'm surprised by that, but I love that because there's nothing like your first race, especially your first full marathon, man. If you're not in tears when you cross that finish line for your first full, you're superhuman, because I couldn't believe it. I had to call my dad and say, guess what? I just ran a full marathon, because I almost got cut from the baseball team because I couldn't run 2 miles in high school. So there you go. All right. So give us a call, one more call, and we'll call it a night. And hopefully everybody's having a great Friday. So 407-413, let me pop that back up on the screen. 407-413-9395. Here is our last caller. Let's get it in here. Hello, who's on the air with us? Oh, I think I hit the wrong button. Call me. There we go. And we got 2 calls at the same time, so we're going to take 2 calls. All right, hey, who's joining us? Hello,
this is Mike. Thank you.
Hey, Mike, what's going on, buddy? I was hoping you were going to call finally. I was about to call you.
Hanging out in Charlotte, watching the power system.
You're watching what?
Power system.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
Snuck off.
You know what? I had
about a marathon.
I was going to give you a call because you sent us an early Christmas present at Mizzou. So thank you so much.
Go Tigers, right?
That's right. We got a quarterback.
There you go. But yeah, I'm kind of doing a marathon with work. I'm in the middle of 11 night shifts in a row. So
mercy,
tell everybody that running prepares you for real life. If you can handle a half marathon, even a 10K, if you can accomplish it in your mind, when the everyday things in life, you see other people going, I can't do that, and start whining. You look at them and just kind of roll you out and say, really?
That's a great piece of inspiration. It is true. I mean, running teaches you more than running. It really, I mean, there's so many crossovers to real life. When you get a big project, when you have a long streak of maybe not seeing your family, it's just, when you're running, it's 1 mile at a time, where in real life it might be 1 hour at a time or 1 day at a time. It just it all adds up, and I think it makes us stronger people, mentally especially.
And you're able to divide it up and conquer.
Yes.
I've done 2 marathons. First one in 2010, that snowy, cold, 28-degree one. And then had a friend / peer taught me into doing it in 2015. He said it was his first one, and he just wanted to do one.
I don't know who that could be.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, I don't know who that was.
But it'll start dividing any races, whether it's 10K, 5K, whatever, up in the segments. You say, okay, if I make it halfway, I can do this. Okay, I made it halfway. It's less time. I mean, and you can equate that to hospital stays or any. I mean, there's just so many things in life that running and in my case, it's the run, walking, or whatever. The accomplishment allows you to cross over to real life.
Yeah, I think the thing too is, once you can't stop. You just have to. Like I said, I think the thing I've learned a lot from running is being comfortable, being uncomfortable, because you're either, every time you run a race, you're either going to get a blister, you're going to have chapped lips, your ear's going to start hurting for some strange reason. I mean, it's like in your mind, this is especially for our first time runners, like in your mind, you think everything, like you're going to be floating on air and nothing's going to be hurting. Where I guarantee, I remember for remember those old Tower of Terror 10-mile races that they had at the studios?
Oh, yeah.
One of the years I did that, and honest to God, I tripped over the starting, the little thing that beeps. I tripped over the thing, almost bit it, hurt my back. I hadn't gone 10 feet. I'm like, oh, I drove 1,000 miles for this, and I tripped 10 feet into the race. But the thing is, like, once okay, I'm just going to stick this out, like you said, 1 mile at a time, 5 minutes at a time. It's a great lesson for life because, I think the thing we've all learned as runners, everybody that's here tonight, is that you can probably do more than you ever thought you could initially. I never thought I could run a marathon. I did. So what else am I capable of? Because I think a lot of us lack our a little bit of confidence, but I think that you can do way more than you probably think you can.
And to take it a step further, we all have runner's nerves. I still see it. I'm afraid. This is my first 10K, 5K. I'm afraid. I'm nervous. All this. We still get those nerves.
Yeah.
But we get those nerves in the real world, and this teaches us, okay, push through it. Okay, if I can get through it, we do it in our Disney bubble. That's true, and safety of that. But it teaches you, yes, I'm going to be nervous, but I can accomplish this. Mentally, you start overcoming that fear.
And it's a great thing. I mean, because being nervous doesn't necessarily have to always be a negative thing. People
Correct.
don't like being nervous, but I mean, that means that there's something you're excited about and you're unsure about. And it's kind of like, it's a new mountain to summit, and I look at that because I'm hoping here, in a few weeks that I will complete Dopey again and that I'll get those 6 medals, but who knows, God could have a different journey for me. I might not be crossing that finish line on Sunday, but I hope I am. I've put in the work, I think, but the thing is it's a goal, and it's something that it's kept me focused. It's got me excited. And the best thing is it's brought me this great family. So, even if I weren't to cross that finish line, I'm going to celebrate with everybody who does. And even people that don't, I'm just going to celebrate the journey for everybody. It's going to be so much fun.
Amen, brother. And what about that family, man? We just come through that 5-year thing. It blew me away. I kind of got blindsided with some surprises from all over the world. And Joe Pickus put it the best. He said, Mike, the only way we can put this out front is have somebody to put it out front. And it's not about Mike Bankia, but just the families that have grown and the friendships. All you folks know who I'm talking about. I mean, we've got people taking vacations together, visiting, and going across the country, to see each other and getting together. We saw it 2 or 3 times this past week, friends getting together that never would have known each other except through the Be Our Guest podcast and an extension of that through the Lizard. So it just fills my heart. I said during that, what makes me happy is making other people happy. And I'm kind of like the Grinch after at the end of the thing, my heart's so full like a bus, and just seeing other people happy.
That's how I feel tonight. I love this because, folks are calling in from all over the country, giving great advice,
right.
And it's going to make everybody's race experience better here in the next few weeks. And you're right. I mean, there's nothing like it. And Mike, this is a great call to wrap the show on because, we can't thank you enough. You keep us all together. You are the one that you're the glue because I'm crazy and I don't have the organization, but hey, we're going to have a great time in, 5 years. It's been a great journey and it's going to be many, many more. And again, when I get done posting a run in the morning and I look in the Lizards group and I post my little crazy picture with how cold I was and all that good stuff, I love scrolling down and just seeing the smiles and every, you always see everybody posting their pictures and their runs and even struggles. But the thing that I like seeing is that there'll be 12 comments, 17 comments, 38 comments with, you did a wonderful job, or hang in there, you're going to have a better run tomorrow, or, stick to the plan. Everybody gives feedback. And that's why this group works. That's why this family works, because it's not like you post a picture and you never see any reaction to it. There's support around every single corner.
Some of our best posters and folks are struggling. So, and the support that comes out of that. So, and you never have to run a Disney race to be a part of this. That was something, I posted our original email that I sent to you, and Joe sent back. He said, Mike, this is true today as it was then. You're all welcome. Just whether you're walking or stepping or just wanting to be a part of the fitness part, making life better. You're all welcome.
That's it. Well, hey, Mike, you all down in South Carolina have a very Merry Christmas, and I'm just excited to see you here in a few short weeks.
And when you say we'll see you real soon at the end of the show, you really made it this time. See you
That's
real soon,
exactly
brother.
right. Tell everybody we send our love. Thank you.
Same here.
All right, bye, Mike. All right, so that's a great way to wrap the show. Captain Mike Bankhead there with great inspiring words. And let's see, Betsy says she thinks she needs to join the Lizards. Absolutely, and if you want to join the Lizards today, you know what? A lot of our folks are just folks that go out and cheer, and you're a part of the team just as much as our Dopey Challenge runners. We're a family. We're Disney nuts. We love the destination. We love just, taking walks around the block. It doesn't have to be anything superhuman. None of us really, well, some of us, we have some really good runners on the team. I got to admit, but I'm not one of them. And most of us are just kind of regular people putting one foot in front of the other. Please join us. Just go to Facebook and type in Be Our Guest Lizards. Mike will verify you there and send you a welcome message. You'll be a part of the team. You'll see all these great messages. And it's so much fun. So thanks to Mike. He put this all together over 5 years ago. And it's changed my life in so many ways. So we're going to put a wrap on this. I know that it was a running show. I try to balance that on the podcast. I could talk running every single show 3 times a week, but I understand that a lot of our audience are not runners. And, the Run Disney thing can wear on people that are not into running at all. So I never want to, skew the podcast too much towards the runners, but I wanted to give this show to the runners because let's face it, a lot of our runners have put in tons of work this year, and this is the time to shine. I've always said this. Race weekend is just your victory lap. You know what? You've done all the work already. You're going to do a victory lap around Epcot and around the Magic Kingdom and around Animal Kingdom and around the studios and through the boardwalk loop and, well, even ESPN. You're going to have that victory lap. It's going to be a lot of fun. People are going to be cheering you on. So just here, really, honestly, I want to tell everybody, stay safe. Put yourself in bubble wrap here over the next few weeks and get down to Walt Disney World safely. Again, our sponsor of today's show, The Magic for Less Travel. Please support them when you get the chance. It helps, with the podcast. It's what I do for a living. I'd really appreciate it when it comes time to book your next Disney vacations in 2019. Go to themagicforless.com, fill out the quote form, let them know you heard about them here on the Be Our Guest podcast. That comes to me, and we'll be working together, and I sure appreciate that. And thanks to everybody who's in the chat who joined us tonight, who's a client of mine over the past year, 8-9 years. Thank you. You're helping me live my dream. You're helping support my family. So thank you so very much for that. All right. Don't forget the Amazon affiliate link as you buy all that stuff for Marathon Weekend, like Nancy talked about. Do get sweats. Get them delivered to your resort. It's a great tip. It's just wonderful to have there in case you need them. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. Follow us on social media, Instagram and Twitter at BeOurGuestMike and at BeOurGuestPod. And of course, Facebook.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. All right. So we're going to get out of here. Let you get on with your weekend. Stay safe, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's show. Let me know what you think on social media, because I think I want to do more of these, but not Run Disney. We could just talk about opening the phone lines and, kind of a old school listener question show and taking calls that way. So I think that'd be fun too. So for Ricky and Pam, who are not here tonight, I'm Mike, and the cast of millions with the callers. Thank you so much. We'll see you real soon. All right, everybody. How fun was that? Let me save this before I lose it. Episode 1426. Non-edit. Woo, that was a lot of talking. I might need to wet my whistle. Hey, Matt, can't wait to see you. Woo, 48.6, baby. Who gets excited to run 48.6 miles? That's so stupid. Oh, we are nuts. We are 100% nuts. Well, hope everybody's having a good Wednesday night. So what we got? We got Survivor tonight. I have Nick in a pool. Don't tell me in the chat if anything's happening, because I know it's on. But yeah, I have Nick. I get $120 if Nick wins, which I've already promised to my wife. So I hope he wins. That'd be good Christmas money for her. We all draw names out of a hat at the beginning of the season on our street. Hey, Emily, you know what? Next time I'm going to put it on Mixler too, so you can just listen without having to watch. I forgot to do that tonight. Thanks, Alfred. I appreciate that. Thanks, Kelly. I'm so excited too. And actually, I have a brand new pair of sneakers I got for my birthday, but I've been disciplined enough not to wear them yet because they're really nice sneakers. And with as much running as I do every day, they would be wore out by January. So I'm trying to hold off. And Joe will be down there. It'll be good seeing Joe. Oh, man. Oops. Terry's got his first dopey coming up. Nice. I'm trying to hit this one. Everybody's moving here. Cool. Driving home, Emily. Good to be safe out there. All right. Well, I'm going to edit this one. This is going to... Oh, Christian. Christian is the person I'm worried about cutting Nick. It's going to be Nick cutting Christian or Christian cutting Nick. One of the two. I want my guy to cut him. I don't... And Jonathan, they said you are Christian. I was confused there because I think it works both ways. That's awesome. And let's see. Oh, there you go. That's cool. That's a good idea. But you know what? Emily, I'll do it on Mixler next time so you don't have to waste any extra bandwidth. I hate that. I want people using their data. All right. Well, I sure appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. I hope it was okay and it sounded okay. And we covered enough good topics. And I truly appreciate everything you guys do for us. do this show. I know that we get in a rush on Monday nights sometimes, but just thank you so much, and hope everybody enjoys the season. It's the best time of the year. So yeah, got to lift weights, Nancy. Those metals are heavy. And it's the best clang ever when you wear. I was like, clink, 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 you're walking through a park. It's sweet. All right, guys, you have a good Wednesday night, and we'll see you on Facebook. It was a lot of fun, and we are going to have more fun. We might even do this again here really, really soon. So you guys have a good night, and I'll talk to you soon.